What is going on, you guys? Jesse here. I'm bringing back another podcast of actually two of my friends, Merk and Kills. And tonight we're actually going to be discussing the whole events that went through today's recent episode of Raw. A lot went down, a lot of dramatic, and unfortunately, something really sad went down towards the end, which we will discuss briefly. But from then on, we'll discuss throughout what exactly happened throughout Raw, and we'll talk about everything else, not just the negatives, because even though it's a sad matter, we shouldn't just focus on that, and it's just we want to let everyone know what went on. So, Kills and Merc, you guys introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Hello, hello. This is Mark. As you said, you can also call me Greg. Whatever one suits best. I'm going to pass it back over to you, Des.
All right, so far, I mean, Kills, can you discuss what happened today with the whole Jerry Lawler and what went on with the King? And it's sad what happened, but you said you saw what happened. Like I said, I probably wasn't paying attention. I was on my own little world. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, it was during the tag team match. I noticed, like, in the background, they were showing the in-ring action. I saw Jerry put his hand to his face, kind of like, ducking his head down. And then I noticed the camera was, like, avoiding that angle so that we couldn't see the announce table. And I noticed the crowd all started staring over there. And the commentary from Michael Cole completely stopped for a few minutes. So I figured something was going on, and you could
Also,
just tell he wasn't addressing Jerry anymore. There's no like input from him, so you just knew something was going on.
well, what they're saying is he possibly had a heart attack or a stroke, and they're doing a CAT scan on him to see what's exactly going on. It's sad though. It's crazy just thinking that it happened on live TV. It's kind of gives you the chills.
Yeah, they said like they had to perform CPR and everything. So obviously we hope for the best with the King, and he's in our prayers and all that.
Definitely. Well, moving on from that, like I said, how do you guys feel about Sheamus and the Brogue being banned? It's kind of fucked up, no? Like, dude, I fucking love that shit.
What do you think, Mur?
I personally think that they are just they're going with whatever. They just kind of going with whatever for Sheamus. He has potential to be such a dominant character if they utilize him right. But the whole concept of this whole ban his bro kick, and then the segment earlier was funny, but I mean it's just come on, like is it really building him up to the next level? Is this whole concept of this bro kick being banned and him making the sarcastic jokes and kicking the camera, is it really going to get him over? That's the question. Like, how do
Yeah.
you do that? Do you really think that something like of that capacity is going to get him over? I mean, maybe in today's generation it's possible, but I mean, you still have hard hitters, in which I'm pretty sure we're going to talk on. Look at what CM Punk and Cena just did.
Right.
There's still expectations out there that you have to live up to, and I just don't think that he's not living up to them. I'm not saying that he can't, but at the current moment, he's just not living up to those.
Well, they also kind of set him up to fail a little bit. I mean, this is the second thing that they've said, hey, if you do this, you're going to get stripped of the world title and fired.
Exactly.
Because
Right.
remember, if he touches an official, it's the same thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
how many things is he not going to be allowed to do?
That's true. That's
That's
true.
that's that's funny you said that, Brian, because I want you. What you said right now, they set him up for it. Everybody who's tuning in right now, keep that in mind, because me and Brian were actually having a conversation earlier regarding the Punk, what you said about Punk, and that needs to definitely be addressed. And you are 100% right on that. So when we
Well,
get to that, I mean,
yeah, we'll get to that one in particular. But
yeah,
the thing with Sheamus is, it's just like, okay, the first one you can understand. If you touch an official, like he did, that's fine.
Right.
That makes
That's
sense.
true. I can see
You
your
should
point
be
there.
stripped of the title, maybe fired. I don't know. But banning a finishing move, and they're saying it's too brutal. Are you trying to tell me that all these years the stunner, the pedigree, sweet chin music weren't brutal?
That's so crazy. Am I the only one that doesn't like Booker T because I find his personality and ego annoying? That's just me.
He's not good as a GM, but
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. He is a better wrestler than he is a GM, though. That's for sure.
Booker T was not built to be a general manager. There's very few titles that man can fall under. He can be one hell of a character and a wrestler. I'll give him that. He can definitely do that. He's quite entertaining. And even though he was extremely stupid on commentary, he was entertaining.
yeah,
But
that's true.
he,
Terrible commentary, but funny.
but funny. He was hilarious. And the whole shucky ducky quack quack, whatever the hell he wants to say.
Yeah.
His
catchphrase.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And I think that for SmackDown, that fits SmackDown well because they're not as looked highly upon as Raw is. But as a general manager, he's just not doing the job. But I will say that for the current time of now, they're just simply using AJ and Booker T to get over to what's going to happen next. And I promise you, you heard it right here, that something is going to happen where those two are both going to get terminated and somebody big is going to...
I never thought I'd say this, but I think the perfect way of summing up Booker T as general manager of SmackDown is apparently the general manager of SmackDown. You can totally pull off playa, but you can't pull off sucker. Because Teddy Long was a great SmackDown general manager.
Oh yeah,
Booker T is horrible.
I remember from a long time ago.
Teddy Long was a hit or miss, and he just hit a home run every time. Like I don't know what it was about Teddy Long. I don't know what it is about Teddy Long, but he just connects with the fans. The fans love him. They don't.
Just don't put a live mic in his hands when he's got to improv a little.
I mean, the guy comes out dancing, man. Come on, man. You got to give him respect. He's like 70 years old and he's getting down on the stage still. That's respect points if you ask me.
Yeah, when you have a bald guy with a tiny mustache talking about thugging and bugging.
Thugging and bugging.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this. In the comment that I just recently made about AJ and Booker T being replaced, what do you think about those two being replaced, both shows being ran by Paul Heyman? The odds of that. Brian, go.
The odds of it, extremely unlikely. Do I see one show becoming Paul Heyman? Yeah, that's totally possible because it's been done before.
Right.
But both, I just don't see them ever.
During tonight's episode, didn't he come out in the middle of a match talking to
Punk? They have this. They pretty much what they've done. See, WWE has their times where you're gonna have the rush of entertainment. When I say the rush of entertainment, I'm implying practically that it's nothing but good television. You're gonna have maybe, if I were to put it on a percentage, it'll be 90% good, and they'll have its 10% of bad from about usually from about SummerSlam to Mania, and that's about when it's like at its best. That's when it's supposed to be at its best. But for some reason, that SummerSlam push, to me, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but to me, it didn't happen. And they used that Paul Heyman Punk and the whole Punk going heel on the 1000th episode of Raw. This is where that elevation's going. And there's so many different ways that this could go. There's so many different matches that we can expect at WrestleMania 29. There's so many different matches we can expect at Survivor Series.
You know why the push didn't happen, Merc? They had a run of maybe 3 or 4 pay-per-views in a row.
Yep.
Where the main event had no long-term potential of
no,
That's true.
No,
yeah. Good call there.
Like, where were they going to go with Cena and Lesnar? Where were they going to go with Laurinaitis? You know, like, stuff like that. It's got no long-term potential. And the only reason that they're having Punk and Heyman right now is to keep Paul Heyman relevant while Lesnar's gone.
That's it.
They can't afford to have Heyman become irrelevant.
So how do you guys feel about next Sunday though? Like the whole match is set up and all that shit.
Oh, this coming up Sunday?
It's going to be a good pay-per-view. It's not going to be their best by any means.
Out of like a lower card pay-per-view, like not being a main pay-per-view, I think we can all agree that this is going to be damn good. I really think it's going to be I mean, if you look at the card, as a matter of fact, while you guys finish talking, I'm going to look up the card. The card's amazing. Actually, in my opinion, the card's amazing.
The match I'd keep my eye on for the one that has the potential to steal the show is the one with the show off and the Viper. I think Orton, Ziggler, could easily steal the show.
It's the potential factor.
Yeah, right.
It's the potential factor completely. This is another hyped up pay-per-view that could have the potential, but is it going to live up to those expectations?
It's got a nice little bit of everything. You have a little bit of comic relief with the teaming of Daniel Bryan and
the Divas. They actually included the Divas for heaven's sakes.
I like that tag team match though. I like that.
I
like the whole Kane and Daniel Bryan though. Seems like a good matchup.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be, oh man.
So is no one actually interested in the whole, CM Punk and Cena match on that day?
Oh, dude, that's gonna be, and you know what? In those defining moments, Brian, me and you usually always call these. Is
Oh yeah.
we have on matches like that, matches like those. All wrestling fans, that's even you yourself, you're gonna know this. Is when it comes down to it, they have certain matches that could end all or be all. End all be all. Sorry, I said that correct and wrong. It can either be the end all be all of a feud or it could be something great. And this match between Punk and Cena has the potential to be something great. With the factors of Heyman, with the factors of the time where it's at now, you got to keep in mind, WrestleMania tickets are going to go on sale in roughly a month. I promise that in a month's time, we're going to hear something about a pre-sale or the actual sale date of WrestleMania. And they have no build of it yet. The reason why WrestleMania was built so much last year, Rock Cena.
But
And
they
it's-
made the mistake of that because no match could really live up to the amount of hype they put around Rock Cena, especially when The Rock was away from wrestling as long as he was, and Cena can't carry anyone the way, an Undertaker, a Triple H, a Shawn Michaels.
And during the commercials, you guys see that DVD release versus the Cena and Rock, the whole what it led up to, and
they're gonna milk that its worth for years. They're gonna milk. They're not gonna be done milking that until a long time. It's a money train. It's like Brian said. That's a once in a life. That was our Hogan and Rock, but it's just nowadays it's that much bigger. And nowadays Cena and Rock is a bit more relevant. Obviously, I think even back then.
Let's talk a little bit about the direction of the CM Punk storyline. I don't want to make the prediction because there are no sure things in the wrestling world, but I would be 99% behind saying that anyone that thinks this whole Heyman angle is to create a stable with Punk and Lesnar is dead wrong. I just don't see that because they don't mesh. There's no chemistry. There's no connection other than Heyman, which doesn't make a good stable.
You see, but here's the thing, though. Is what you just said right now is it would tie in so well with that idea I said about
it did happen, yeah.
A manager, yeah. With Heyman being a manager, if you put Heyman as a manager and you have him behind CM Punk, him and Punk alone together, that's okay with me. I don't care what capacity.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm on board with that. Just leave Lesnar out of this.
But how would Lesnar fit into that? What I'm saying is I don't think it's going to be just Punk and Lesnar. That's my opinion.
Oh, I hope we don't start going in a faction direction.
That's in my opinion. That's the only way that would work. Because Heyman, Punk, Lesnar, it wouldn't. You're like what you said practically. That would make no sense. It'd be stupid. I would like if it's just those three.
Because listen, you have Brock Lesnar, who's obviously the powerhouse. He'd be the quote-unquote enforcer. But you couldn't have two different in-ring performers. You have Punk, who is so technical, and he can do a little bit of everything, and he doesn't make many mistakes in the ring, and he's probably right now one of the best in-ring performers. Yeah, and then you have Lesnar, who just bumbles his way through stuff. He's clumsy on the mic. That's why they brought Heyman back.
But see, picture this. Is if they do decide to go the direction of a Heyman stable, that'd make for one hell of a Survivor Series when you think about it. Because you already know what the Survivor Series match would be. It would practically be the Heyman guys as you
against like the Cena guys or whatever.
Against the Cena guys, or if Triple H decides to come back, the Triple H guys, even Taker. It could be a mixture of anything. It could be anything. So this is why I like the time of now. Because even with dirt sheets, you couldn't predict something this good. You usually can't. They can put the info out there, but you're not going to be able to call it. Because it's not, I mean, I'm telling you, and for anybody out there, if you're an occasional wrestler fan, if you're a consistent wrestling fan, understand that now is the time to tune in. That's my opinion.
Well, you look at the show tonight, and I said this to Merck while we were watching, and I think I said it to Des as well. You watch that promo, that both Punk and Cena had. That's it's neither of their best works, but that was a strong promo.
And given the time
But
when the promo happened,
the problem with what I saw in the promo is everything Cena was attacking Punk for doing. I view, and this is just my personal opinion, I view Cena as like the mouthpiece of the WWE because he's quote unquote the guy right now. Like every generation has had the guy.
Yeah.
He's the face of the company. So he's basically their mouthpiece, and he's talking about, oh, CM Punk's just stealing from other people, he's unoriginal, blah, blah, blah. The whole reason he's like that is because of the WWE. Like, they haven't given him full creative freedom. We want the CM Punk that a year ago did drop that pipe bomb up on the stage.
Exactly.
We want the one who was the voice of the voiceless, and they haven't let him be that.
And I mean, that's when you look at CM Punk now compared to when he sat down on that stage in the last summer, what differences do you yourself see as of right now to then?
I'll tell you right now, it's nothing to do with whether he's a face or a heel.
No.
That's not what I'm talking here.
Of course.
But he's become PG, which is the real thing.
Yeah, that's true. He has toned it down. Like he doesn't seem like how it was, Like, I guess you could say they're passing the torch as well to him. How John Cena, when he had that whole "fuck you" attitude, and now he's just PG.
Yeah, but see, Cena had it worse because Cena came up in an attitude-like era. You can't take that away from him. His whole gimmick was an attitude-like era, and everybody was on board with that gimmick originally. But then Vince McMahon decided this was the guy. This was the guy.
Yep.
To carry the WWE as that face, because it would have came down to individuals pretty much it came down to, at that time, Batista, Orton, Cena, and there's another person who I'm thinking about, but damn it, I can't remember who it is. But
Edge.
the Edge, there we go, Edge. Those four at that time, when they had to make this transition, they said one of these four are going to be the face of this new direction that we're going to go.
And you got to give Vince credit because look how smart he is. Batista wanted to pursue MMA. Edge, you couldn't count on because of the injury history, and it turned out it was smart because he had to retire.
Yeah.
And then you look at Orton, and nothing against Orton because he's one of the best in-ring talent right now. But he keeps getting suspended for drug policies. He has a little bit of an injury history, and he's not that kind of a good guy. He's better as like an in-between / heel.
And that's sad that I think of him not being a face over his drug problem. That's another big point, obviously. Whatever.
All right, Merc. Kills, I'm sorry I have to end you guys here. We'll have to do this another next time. We'll do this another next time. We'll sit around. We'll discuss it some more. But I gotta end it here, you guys. So yes, this is Destitute, you guys. Thanks for watching. This is Kills, and this is Merc or Greg, how you want to say. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.